Hello and welcome back to another Bakewell builds. Firstly, I'd like to apologise that nothing was uploaded last week. I finally handed in all my art for A-levels, so I don't have to worry anymore and I can focus on the channel. Today we are copying a floor plan. So I found a build on Pinterest. This is the build here. Absolutely loved the house. It's like really pretty. I don't know, I really like it. And the floor plan was very different to my usual layout that I do. So it's a bit of a challenge really. I wanted to have a go at actually copying a floor plan. So as you can see, I'm just starting by literally going line by line, copying the floor plan. It's kind of strange though because nothing's really quite in proportion. Like I couldn't get the garage to look right. I mean, there's no like proper, there is garage doors in Sims, but I didn't end up using them because I wanted it to look more like the build. And trust me, I definitely overestimated the size of the build, because like I did it all and then I started putting the furniture in and I was like, whoa, this is way too big, so I'm pretty sure I made it smaller. I started adding in the rooms inside the build, just obviously to plan out the layout. And then when I started adding windows, that was really kind of when I realised, yeah, this is way too big. I think when you play Sims anywhere, you kind of have, you know, a sort of idea of how much space a kitchen takes up, how much space a bathroom, bedroom or a living room takes up. But I'm copying a build, so I need to make sure that the size looks right on the outside, that the build looks exactly like the picture. I mean, of course you're not going to get it accurate, but the whole idea is to copy it. A thing with the windows is you can't like freely move them around, so the only way to make a window central is to have the same amount of wall tiles either side. So because I'm actually copying the windows from this build, I might end up creating more space inside just because I have to make it look equal. I'm doing the stairs now. Oh, I absolutely love that the Sims have finally done these stairs so that you can change the shape. You can do L shapes, whatever shape you like with the stairs. I do still want spiral staircases though, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many things that we all want in Sims, but yeah, I would love spiral staircase. A couple days ago though, Sims 4 released a trailer for Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. We were all wondering what it was going to be, whether it was going to be like a farming expansion pack, or don't know really. I mean, from the trailer, I know a lot of people seem to be disappointed. It seems like it shouldn't have been an expansion pack, like it should be a game pack. Like it just seemed, don't know how they can make that an expansion pack, but we will find out. I think it's coming out in June, so I guess we'll find out then. I don't reckon I'll end up getting it, like it's not going to be at the top of my list. I've still got loads of expansion packs to buy. I've actually recently purchased Get Famous, so hopefully the next few builds we're going to be playing around with that. As you can see, I literally brought a massive chunk of the build in then because I realised how much space I had. Anyway, so yeah, this Eco Lifestyle, I think it comes with ladders, but then I also read that they're going to put that in the base game, so that would be really good if they did that. Like if we had ladders in the base game, we don't actually have to buy the pack to get the ladders, so that would be really interesting. I don't know whether they only work on the outside or whether we'll be able to use them on the inside. I don't know, but that's something to look forward to. I don't know whether that's going to come before June. I don't know, but I will find out for you guys and I will let you know. I've recently created a Twitter account. I know a lot of people use Twitter, so I thought I might as well jump on there. I've never really used Twitter, but I guess it will help with my YouTube channel. So my Twitter account is BakewellsBuilds, I think. Don't know, I'll put it on the screen now. Okay, so we have finished upstairs layout, and I'm just doing the roofing now. The upstairs layout was actually really weird. Like the bedrooms were all like, they were all like standard sizes, and so was the master bedroom. But for some reason, the master bedroom had like a massive ensuite and like a big walk-in wardrobe, but it just seemed so big, like you could have had another bedroom, like it was ridiculous. And this is the build that we have the laundry room upstairs. If you remember, God, I can't speak today. If you remember me saying from the previous video, I think it was, this is the build that has the laundry room upstairs. So I actually really enjoyed having it upstairs, so I think that's something I might do in the future. So yes, I'm just working with the roofs. It was actually really simple to do. With the garage, there were windows in the roof, so it was as if there was another room like in the attic part of the garage. But for some reason, there was nothing on the layout that I could, use as a guide. So I ended up actually building a room upstairs in the garage, and I actually connected it to the main house. Now, this is probably unrealistic. There's something that wouldn't have been a part of the house. But then as I was building, I was struggling with the bathroom, and I thought, oh my god, let's just connect it because it made more sense. Well, it didn't really make more sense, but as I was doing it, I was kind of like, why not? Let's just do it. I had to put my own spin on it. The bathroom just seemed too small, and I was just like, oh, that will do. So I did that instead. This build did actually end up taking me much longer than I thought. Well, saying that, no, I did it quite quick. Well, I think I did anyway. But as I started editing the footage, I was like, well, this can't be a 50-minute long video. So this will be 2 parts. I already have the other part done, so it's not like I haven't finished it yet, like the barn conversion. Oh, literally, I've got to finish that because otherwise I'm never going to get it done. Let's be real. But yeah, so this is only 2 parts, so I will get the second one up as soon as I can. I'm now just colouring making sure that the roof looks the same colour as the picture, and also what do you call that? Like the framing of the roof. What do you call that? I don't know. And finally going in with the walls, trying to get something similar to the picture. It's always a tricky one, but the wall patterns from Seasons seemed to do me just fine, so it was the closest I could get. You can't get it completely accurate, as we know, but I think it's pretty damn close enough, and I think it works really well. Now, from the picture, I wouldn't know what the back of the house looked like, so I kind of just went with it. It did look a bit plain, but I didn't want to change it too much because otherwise it's not really sticking with the plan. But something I did find was that I didn't like the placement of a lot of the windows, and also like the door at the back, it was right next to the kitchen, and it was quite a small window, like, well, I don't know if it was a small window, but the length of it was quite small, so, and I was kind of like, let's just have open sliding doors onto a decking. There was no evidence of a decking in the floor plan, but I thought, well, I feel like you would with this house, like it seems like you would, so I just did it anyway. But I didn't see the point of having like one door going out to the garden, so I thought big sliding doors would be perfect. And then I had a door coming out from the garage, so there's still like a back door. But especially when I was designing the rooms upstairs, that's kind of when I started moving the windows around, just so it looked visually right. It's quite hard to tell when you've not actually got an image, because obviously I based the front of the house off the image, but there was nothing to base the back off, so I kind of just started moving the windows around because it just didn't look right, and you kind of have to go with your instinct with that. I was loving the wood, I love the colours, I love the colour palette that I'm using, and I've also added in that grey. I was just playing around with the back, just seeing what worked and that. And then I had a sudden moment that I didn't like the beams that I was using, so I changed them to the season beams. I'm not sure if they stay because that's not what the original picture looks like. I mean, I do like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if they stay or not. And the front door, I always have issues with the front door. And for some reason that beam was in the way, I think, so I had to use move objects. But did I go with that? I probably did. Did I? No. Oh no, I went with the modern door. Apparently with the Get Famous pack, there's like some really nice doors, so I'm looking forward to it. Maybe one of the doors would be helpful with the barn conversion. I hope so anyway. With the garage, yeah, I wanted to have, I think it's wood texture of the, yeah, there's a wood texture on the garage door, so, and the garage door in Sims is just grey, so I thought, it doesn't really matter because it's not like we can even drive cars in Sims or use the garages, they don't do anything, so I thought I might as well just make a pretend garage door. And I've also used some windows as well, because in the build they have like, I don't know if I actually know if they're windows or whether they're like, oh no, they are windows, yeah, into the garage door. So yeah, and I think I'm just adding in the rest of the windows now, making it kind of come together, hopefully. I at this point I've finished the actual build, but I haven't done any landscaping. It's not my it's not my area of expertise. Once I can do it, it's just takes me forever. But if that's something you want to see, I mean, I'm not sure how long the next video will be, so if it's just an extra 10 minutes of me just doing some landscaping, I might just do it. It's on quite a big lot, but I feel like for this kind of size house, you'd have quite a big lot, like you'd have quite a bit of land. I feel like this house would be in like mountainous areas, like it's currently, am I in the, I think I'm in the cats and dogs world. I don't know what the name of the world is. I think it's looking over the sea, but I don't think that's not realistic. I might move it for next episode. You can see the problem I was having with the windows. They weren't like lining up with the inside. I just looked at the floor plan again, like as I'm doing this voiceover, and I just realised that upstairs, like part of it is a little bit longer than, like only by literally one wall tile. But I don't get how that would look from the outside, so I don't know. I've already finished the house, so actually changing that now would be a bit annoying, but I will have a look at that, see if it looks any better. Because I did find that bathroom upstairs, like for the master bedroom, was really big. I mean, I worked with the space, I've dealt with it now, so I guess there's no point in changing it. But maybe that's why. Maybe it's because part of it needs to come in a little bit. Oh, I can kind of see it now. The back does look much better now the windows are in, but I can kind of see how it would look good if part of it was, oh no, because it was only upstairs where the nah, I don't think that would look right. I'm happy as it is. I've just added in that little decking area. I mean, I feel like I have to landscape it now, because I don't think I finished that decking either. Okay, maybe it will. Okay, so finally we are inside. We don't have any pictures of how the inside of the build looks like, but from the floor plan you can kind of see the placement of the kitchen, where the TV is, like where certain objects are, like the toilet and the stuff like that. In the bedrooms you can see the closets, but you can't actually see where the bed is. But from that, we are still copying it. I don't know why I suddenly added in those windows. I realised I forgot to add them in. I think I changed this pantry space quite a lot because it just didn't really work with the space. It is quite an unusual layout. And I'm adding in those lights because from the previous video I realised I should really add the lights in first. So even though I know what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing, the rest of you probably can't. So that is so much brighter, you can actually see what I'm doing now. So I've just gone in with some white flooring. Again, I don't have a clue what the inside looks like, but I thought I'd bring those wood tones into the build. And I think I ended up going with like blue colours in the living room, like that's quite a classic sort of theme that I tend to always use. So I'm going in with the kitchen, trying to copy the floor plan. They have this island, which I always seem to have an island in my kitchen. I'm going to try and do a build where I don't do an island, like I don't design a kitchen with an island, but this house did, so I had to copy it. And I keep using the island living countertops. I've been using them in the last, obviously in the barn conversion, also in another build that's coming out soon. But now I've got Get Famous. I wonder if they've got any countertops. I'm not fully sure, but I might get that, is it kitchen stuff? I don't know, there's a pack with like more countertops, because there isn't really many in the base game. Like, not really, not any good ones, not any modern looking ones anyway. But yeah, so that's why I keep using these. It's quite annoying that they don't have matching wall cupboards, but I do like the shelving that it comes with. I do like the shelves. I always seem to use those tiles as well, the white, the white tiles. I always use them, but they're so modern. I kind of wish they did like half wall ones, like half of it was tiles and the other half was just white paint or whatever. I've also added in a splash of colour into the kitchen as well with that wall. I thought that would be a nice touch. And now I'm starting with the living room. So from the floor plan, we knew that the TV was like obviously on this wall, and it was in the centre, and either side was a window. So I was using the shelving from the kitchen because I thought that would work well. I actually lost some of the footage from the living room. It honestly took me forever to do this living room. I couldn't work out like how to position everything. So I don't know how I lost the footage, but we'll skip to the next part of the screen recording, and it will suddenly be there, and so will the dining room as well. But don't worry, I will show you everything at the end of the build. We'll go through the build, walk around and have a look. I've just realised that I changed the colour in the kitchen, so that little bit of colour like in that centre, I changed back to like a grey colour, and then I tiled one side white and the other side the teal colour, but it works well. In this little dining room area, I added in some yellow curtains and yellow curtains, and I've added that painting in, so it kind of breaks it up from the rest of the space, so it's not continuously the same colour theme. Like, I added a little bit more colour. So yeah, this dining space was a bit weird because it's kind of like, it's not got any doors to it, it's still open planned, but yeah, it works well. I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not, but I don't tend to add in much clutter and detail to my designs. I don't know, I always feel like it looks better being quite simple because it looks more modern, but you always got to add in some plants and some flowers. You've got to add in a bit of detail, definitely. That's kind of why I like those shelves as well, because they've got like stuff in them. In the utility room, which you didn't actually get to see me build, unfortunately, I've kind of just put in shelving units, and then I've just put in some clutter into the shelving. And I don't really know what you'd call... that's more of a pantry. That's more of a pantry, and then that's more of a utility. I don't know. Like, and also this other space that I'm going to, I think I go to in a minute. Yeah, here. Like, I don't really know what this is. Like, is it for coats? That's what I've gone with anyway. I feel like that would be a more practical use. But then it's kind of got a similar thing the other side of the house. So I don't know. I just did both really. With this build, I've definitely added more detail than I usually do. I don't know why. I don't usually do that. Maybe I was just in the mood, because sometimes if you've been doing a build for so long, you don't want to add in those extra details. But to be fair, this space did feel, as good as it looked, I feel like it needed that extra bit of detail. So I was deciding what to do with this little hallway bit. I tend to have like a table and a mirror. That's usually what you do. And also maybe a picture. I was trying to be different and add like a bookshelf, but it just wasn't looking right, so went with my traditional kind of look, and added a plant, of course. And then I think I've done this loads of times before, and I've used these they're not in the painting section, they're like, I don't know, but they're one of the like decorations, and I use them and I just do a gradient, and I think that looks really cool. And of course using those lights, I love these lights from Island Living, been using them a lot. I was going to add in like a little Ottoman, is that what it's called? Ottoman? Don't know. But again, that wasn't quite looking right either. Yeah, and so I've suddenly, what is wrong with me? I've started adding like extra details, but it definitely makes the build complete. Like, it definitely looks so much better with them. And I absolutely love these vases as well from Island Living. Love the different colours, so I've really enjoyed adding those to my builds. And of course, finishing a space off, the lighting is so important. I love how with this build, I don't tend to do it all the time, but having those lights over the island, I've done the same for the dining room, so I think that worked really well. And then I'm just adding in some bits and pieces to complete this living room. Now I'm moving on to the garage. I didn't really know what to do with this space. I've kind of just put in a load of like activity items, put in a running machine and a boxing bag, and some garden bits, just like what you'd typically find in a garage. I mean, some people have a separate gym and that, but you know what I mean. Just to make it cluttery, just to add some bits. I don't usually build a garage in Sims because it's pointless, like you don't need it. I can't wait. I really, really hope that Sims actually allow us to use cars, and actually the cars drive, and it's instead of just I wish we had proper cars basically, but we don't. But still, the garage is a nice touch to the build. It is obviously what the build is, so I had to copy it. Then I realised I needed some stairs to get to this, to the next level, because obviously there is a room in the attic space in the garage. So we'll come back to that later, because I couldn't decide at the time what to do with the space. But it ends up being like really cool, so I'm glad that I'm glad I did it basically. So now we are going in upstairs, so just sorting out the balcony. I actually really liked, so I'm changing the windows here now, because I really wanted to have like these big windows in the stairs, and I think that looks really cool. I'm just going in with the flooring, seeing what kind of flooring I want. I tend to, whenever I start a build, I go in, I make all the walls white, and I try and figure out like, the flooring first, just because it's like a clean plate, like a clean palette. So this is the bathroom slash walk-in wardrobe area, which is massive. It's so big. It's these 4 rooms, and I was like, how on earth, like, this is huge. Like, fair enough, you can have bathrooms that big, but for this house, it's more of a family home, and it's definitely, you wouldn't have a bathroom this big. But I was following the floor plan, so I was like, okay, I have to do it. And you know what? The end result, I did make it work. Like, I didn't give up and change it into a bedroom or anything. But to be fair, though, I tend to always make really small bathrooms. I don't know why. I always try and make it as realistic as possible. And some people, I can't work with big spaces. Like, I have to fill the space. I'm really bad with that. But I was actually really happy with the end result of this. Each of the, so like the toilet was separate, and the shower room was separate. So it wasn't like it was one big room. That would be really hard if it was. Whenever I get a new expansion pack, I seem to always use the same objects from that pack, like over and over again. Because I'm absolutely obsessed with the bath and the shower that comes with Island Living, and of course the countertops. So I use it in this build, but I promise with like future builds I won't. I need to resist myself. As I say though, I've bought Get Famous, and I haven't even looked at it yet. I haven't even been on to play around with it, so I'm excited to do that. But as I say, I'll probably with the next few builds, I'm going to be using like just famous objects. Just famous? No, get famous. That's what it's called. So this is the large bathroom. Look at the size of this bathroom. I mean, toilet, room, whatever you call it. You don't really tend to have a room just for a toilet. Although I have done that in a lot of builds, to be fair. Especially like upstairs, if you're sharing like a family bathroom, I've always done like a separate toilet in quite a lot of builds. Just, I don't know, really, might as well. Adding detail again, I've not been doing this. Why am I doing this in this build? I don't know, but it really added to it. I'm glad I did. For some reason, I'm changing my ways. I'm doing more detail. So in the toilet part, I was like, how do I fill this? So I decided to put in another sink, and then I just added some plants, I think. Bit of artwork. You can easily fill the space. And I'm just putting in some rugs. Do love a rug. I have a rug. I literally have a rug in every space. And of course, those lights. Obsessed with those lights at the moment. I think that's so nice. There really isn't that much choice with lights. Like, obviously, I don't have all the expansion packs. But even then, like, I don't really like most of them. So, it's like, I don't tend to have lamp-shaded lights in any of my rooms. I tend to use those, like, spotlights. Or, I don't really know what they're called. And I make them smaller. Because they're really bright, like, I might as well just use them. And yeah, I just don't really use, like, lamp-shaded lights. Apart from, like, in big, like, living room or dining room or kitchen or whatever. So this is the walk-in wardrobe. I know since I've downloaded the Get Famous that they have, like, proper proper wardrobes that have clothes in, and there's also ones with, like, shoes in. So I might go back and add that into this, but I feel like they're quite... it's not really the right style, I don't think. But anyway, I think this really works. It is what it is. Like, it's definitely a walk-in wardrobe. It's kind of like a changing area as well, if I've added that seat and the mirror as well. I've just changed that. I didn't realise that I changed that window. So now we're starting on the master bedroom, of course, because literally this... the bedroom is smaller than the size of all the 4 rooms put together. That is mad. I think I went with like green colours in this, did I? I think I did. And I'm kind of continuing to use this shade of wood throughout. I feel like watching me do bedrooms is quite boring because they all just have the same sort of, you know, you're always going to have a bed, you're going to have the bedside tables, you're going to have a dresser and maybe a desk. But I suppose I don't know, it depends, I guess it depends on the room. I tried for every bedroom that I've done on this build, I've tried to use different colours. I tend to do that with most builds because otherwise, well, you wouldn't have the same colour, would you, in every room? So I guess that makes it fun and different by using different colours. So I'm going for this like bluey greeny colour. And I'm trying to use the furniture from Island Living because obviously I'm obsessed at the moment with it. I didn't like any of the desks though, so I think I went with this. Did I go with that? Yeah, I think so. I thought this was quite a small bedroom really for a master bedroom. But it was fine because I could fit everything in. It wasn't like tiny, obviously. And it's bigger than the other rooms, so as long as it's bigger than the other rooms. Just adding in those mirrors there. I don't know why I chose them. It's different. I've not done that before. And of course, you've got to add in some plants. Always add in plants. And I think I was deciding. I always tend to colour a wall. I always do that. I just colour a wall. God, I'm talking gibberish today. What I mean is, you always have like a main centerpiece wall, I suppose. I don't know what you call it. It's not coming to me like what you would call it. But I tend to always colour one wall and then like make that the center wall, put a bit of art on there. I never really change that either. I always tend to do that. How boring of me. So for this little corner here, I decided to do a bookcase because it's going to be behind a door as well. So you wouldn't put a desk there, obviously. Just adding some more plants, decorations. Look at me for adding my decorations. And I probably will add a rug in a minute. I hope I do, because I'm sorry if there's... Oh, I just had an email come through. Sorry about that. Sorry if there's any backing noise as well. I've had to open my windows because it's really hot in my room. But all the neighbours are out because obviously it's sunny. So, and adding those pictures, I use these pictures all the time from the cats and dogs. They're like the only good pictures, really, or like arty pictures anyway. Oh god, trying to add these lamps to the bedside tables, because I always make the bedside tables smaller because they're way too big. Like they're so out of proportion, so I always make them smaller. But then you always have this issue of having to like use move objects to put the lamps or whatever you want on the tables. I've got used to it now, but at first it used to frustrate me so much that instead of having lamps on the tables, I would just have like those hanging lights, or just have like wall lights instead. Oh, I'm finishing with a rug, of course. You've got to find the perfect rug. Did that go? Yes, I went with this one. I actually quite liked bringing in that black, so I decided to paint one of the walls black as well. So yeah, that is that bedroom done. Admittedly, this has taken me a lot longer than I thought. Well, no, the actual build didn't take that long, but when I'm editing, I'm like, this is actually quite long. So I'm going to make this 2 parts. I've already filmed the next part, so we'll get those 2 bedrooms done. We'll get that laundry room and the bathroom and the attic space in the garage done. And I will try to film getting some landscaping done as well. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.